Hi, this is Goddess Valentina from Happiness Matters Podcast Edition. How are you guys today? Today's message um, is about working from the heart energy. Heart energy is so strong, and it's our strongest energy when we're working from our heart. And when you have a clear mind, when you're doing meditation, or when you're just at that real place of peace and your mind is not spinning of 1,000 things, that's when you're at your most powerful. A lot of time when people begin spiritual work, it's all left brain mental. I want it to be perfect. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. Da 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 da. And it's totally not a spiritual experience. We need to be connected, like focusing on your breathing. When you can feel yourself blink, when you know that you're swallowing, that's when you're really connected. When you can feel all of the little things, you know, like you could feel, your nails. Like when you're really centered, when your mind is not racing a million things, and you can just say, okay, I'm here, I'm present, I'm here, and go through that heart energy. What does that feel like? What are you thinking about? You know, um, are you happy? Are you at peace? Are you stuck in a rut? Are you have a little sadness? Do you have huge anxiety? Are you scared? Are you nervous? These are all true feelings. These are all true feelings to be honored. And once you can identify, what you're really feeling and not what you think other people are doing to you, that's when the magic happens. That's when the spiritual growth happens. That's when you can start to begin the healing, you know? And it's just very simple. It starts with you. Everything begins with you and starts with you. Okay? Because if there was somebody else in your situation, it'll be totally a different situation because they'll have different thoughts, different actions, different behaviors. So, through your words, thoughts, and behaviors, these are the things that you are attracted to at this time. These are the things that you're involved in. These are the things that you choose to be in. If you made a good choice or a bad choice, it's still present in your life. So the good thing is we do have controls to, we do have controls to change things. Certain things are permanent, like if you bring a child into this world, of course, when the divine wants the child to come back, then, by all means, that happens. But for the most part, a child is with you. A child will be with you and always be connected and tethered to you, right? So that's kind of like a permanent situation, But the energy around, if it's a good situation, or you're having strain, or you're having issues, parenting issues, and stuff like that. That stuff can all be worked out, so everything is interchangeable. So when you're in this space, think about what would be your perfect life and how would it be? How would it look? Your perfect life. How would everything feel? How would the air feel? How would it be a sunny day? Would it be a sunrise, a sunset? Would it be a rainy day? Some people love rain. What kind of day would it be? And how, when you look around and do a 360 view, how would everything look like? Keep those images in your mind because that's when you're at your truest self, and that's what you want to strive for, to get to those places. And yes, it takes a lot of work on the physical realm, but it takes a lot of work on the spiritual realm. It's 50-50. 50% spiritual realm, 50% physical realm. So you need to really start working on that spiritual. You need to start building spiritual wealth. And that is through prayers and meditation. And that's about building merit, doing something for the betterment of somebody else. That is being kind, compassionate, unconditional love. That is for having one of the highest emotions of gratitude on a daily basis. That is also offering. So offerings, if you're not affiliated with a church, you can do offerings with people, doing something kind for somebody else, extending yourself that you wouldn't normally do. When you do this, you are showing you are in a very faith believing system, saying like, yes, even though I have a little, I know that I will have more. And that shows a spirit of wealth. And that shows an attitude of wealth. Okay? And so that brings you more. When you can give even a little, that makes room that you can receive more. So as you start doing things from the kindness of your heart, you will start to reap spiritual wealth. And these are all the keys on how to build wealth. Once you start building the spiritual wealth, working on your behavior, working on not building any kind of lower energy, and some people like to say karma. I like to call white seeds, planting white seeds into the spiritual earth, spiritual universe, planting those beautiful angelic white seeds that come only from you. When you plant those seeds, eventually in time, they will be a blossom. And then if you do a lot of seeds, you can have a super bloom, where all of these beautiful things just start happening one thing at a time. A lot of people that I know, and it could be like a theme, is that, okay, people say prayers, oh God, please help me. Oh dear God, just little things like that. And then when they're going through something, that's when all the prayers start happening, all the prayers. And miracles do happen in all of those prayers. But I find it better that every day or every few days you receive a blessing from the universe than having kind of like a dry season for a while when everything is blah, and then you get blessings. I like to receive blessings every few days or so. I think it makes life more exciting. And to do that is to start giving in the spiritual realm. Forgiveness, clearing your energy and removing blockages is so essential, because the energy, everything is energy. And if energy is blocked, it can't move, So if blessings are coming to you, it's hard to move through those blockages to get to you. So it's so essential to really start to cleanse and to remove these blockages. And, angelic blends, I also have my angel fire to clear out situations that you might going through. Just sending that energy for clearing. If you want to have a deeper cleaning, you can work with candles to do a real deep clean. I totally recommend this. I've done this and I've only seen very great results. Asking for forgiveness every night of things. The most important thing is, of course, forgiveness. But we can't think that we don't hurt other people. We can't, just by like being dismissive or aloof or sarcastic or rigid or or lazy or not following up, disappointing somebody. We are humans, no one is perfect, right? So if you're not perfect, then you should have be humble enough to say, you know what, please forgive me of the things I know and the things that I don't know. The most important part is the things that I don't know. You know what I mean? Because some people are like, well, I didn't do anything wrong today. How do you know? Because we're humans. We can't control how other people take what we say. And people say, well, that's not me, it's on them. But it came from you. There's energy that expelled from your body off to the energy field to somebody else. And they were a receiver of your energy. Sometimes you have to put your foot down with somebody. If someone's, coming up with you and giving you strong energy, of course you need to shield yourself, and you might need to be more assertive or more strong, you know what I mean? And that, of course, is very important, right? So just think about that. I always ask for forgiveness, and I always have gratitude. I didn't know, when every time I think about gratitude, I always think about Oprah Winfrey and her books. Spirit of gratitude, spirit of gratitude. But to me, it was more in my brain. Okay, let me write a book and let me write something I'm grateful for. I didn't connect to it. I wasn't connected to being grateful, you know? But when you're in your heart space and you're quiet, maybe you're burning essential oils. Maybe you have beautiful candles. Maybe you have stick incense. Maybe you don't have anything. Maybe you have music. Maybe you are in silence. Maybe you're just having a glass of wine. Whatever it is where you are, you can really say, you know what? I'm grateful that I'm still here. I'm grateful that I'm working. I'm grateful. Just thank you. I'm grateful for everything. Just feel that energy from your heart energy. Nothing can come from your brain. It has to come from your heart energy, because that's where the spiritual growth happens. When everything you're feeling from your heart, because once you feel it from your heart, it's pure. And those are white seeds that you're planting into the universe. We have to find a moment of 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. We have to find these moments throughout the day to ask for forgiveness, for gratitude. It's important. It's important to get this stuff done. This is how you start to build a universal energy around you, where you become your own nucleus, your own energy. And what happens is you become tethered to the source energy, and you'll be able to feel things. You'll be able to know things. You won't be in your brain so much. Our brains have a wonderful function to help us, to analyze and all the things that we do. But we also have a heart brain where everything funnels through, and the people that are closest to you can feel your energy. You have to learn how to be very humble and to break down those egos. There's no one's perfect. And a lot of, I have to admit, at one point, I thought I was perfect. I thought like, okay, I'm good. I'm a good person. Everyone loves me. And I don't do anything wrong. Are you kidding me? That was the most arrogant way of thinking. And let me tell you something. When it all hit the fan, people were letting me know that, my ways were not cool, and I lost a lot of friends, and I was on this other thing, this other fantasy land, thinking I'm the bomb, and I wasn't. And I got to a low place. I'm just like, well, who am I? Where am I getting these thoughts and ideas from that, I'm the best thing out there, I mean, yes, confidence, of course. Like, you need to be like, what was this? It was a commercial I saw, and there was this actor. He was just like, I'm stupendous or something like that. I was just like, yes, work it. It's good to have that self confidence, but self confidence is for yourself. But then the humbleness and being grounded, and just so yeah, that's just me. I feel really great about who I am, what I'm doing with myself, but I'm always going to treat you with respect, and that's just for me, but I'm going to bring that down, like, and just become humble and just like not be arrogant or cocky or whatever. And it's never the other people. In Ho'oponopono, it's an ancient Hawaiian healing system, and it's four phrases: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it's basically you're communicating this to the universal energy, and you say it all day long throughout the day. So basically, the idea is we are all connected to Source. Everyone in this world is connected to Source, and we are the children. All of us are. We're all connected. And if someone does something bad, then it's us as a planet. We need to come together to help those people, which we do a poor job at that. We disassociate ourselves with problem people and all those kind of things. And they're the ones that are screaming for the most help. So anyway, I'm sorry, for the things I've done. Please forgive me, of the things things that I know and don't know. I love you, universal energy. And thank you for bringing this situation to me so I'm able to check myself, check my energy, see where I'm at, see how I'm really affected by the situation, and learn to and try to make some changes into my life. And let me tell you a quick story. I was in Macy's Christmas time trying to buy a gift. And one of the salespeople was just like, listen, we're not going to wrap your gift. We don't have time to wrap your gift. I'm just like, yo, I'm at the Estee Lauder counter. I want my gift wrapped with Estee Lauder paper. Are you kidding me? What do you mean you don't have time to wrap my gift? I'm like, okay, please give me the wrapping paper and I will wrap the gift. After I said that, like, we're really busy here. They were giving me all this sass and attitude. And I said, no problem. So when I started learning Ho'oponopono. And so I was saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I kept saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it. And next thing I know, the lady comes up around the corner and says, listen, it's Christmas time, please. I'm really sorry. I wrapped your gift. I added a free gift because you were waiting long and I wasn't so kind to you. And Merry Christmas. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. This is wrapped so beautifully. And she was like, no problem. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. She came out of the counter and gave it to me in my hand. And my husband's like, wow, there's power in Ho'oponopono. I have gone to bank tellers. I've gone to the bank where people were just in a bad ass mood. And I would be like, okay, this woman is going to be handling my account, handling my money. She's in a bad mood, and it doesn't matter what I say, it's going to piss her off even more. So I just gave her what she wanted. And what I did was, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I kept saying that. And what happened was, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you is extremely powerful. If you're interested, I have Dr. Hugh Lin. He is a teacher on Ho'oponopono. I have this beautiful, beautiful seminar that you guys can watch. It will change your life. Anyway, what happened was the lady just looked at me and she was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm just having a bad day today. Can you give me a moment? I'm like, absolutely. She apologized. She was kind. And then me and my husband we said some kind words to her and we left. Ho'oponopono can change your world. What it does is it cleanses your energy. It's like a cleanser, but it also radiates your energy Like you start to sparkle like a diamond. It's really extremely powerful. And the ancient Hawaiians figured this out, and this is what they use as a healing tool. And it's miraculous. It's really, really miraculous. So if you ever wanted to try it, when you say, for instance, you're going into that meeting or you're dealing with that difficult person that always gives you a hard time. The thing is with Ho'oponopono, Dr. Hugh Lin mentions that there's something in your DNA, something in your structure that is stinging the other person, even though they have attitudes and they're just like maybe just pissy all the time. But there's some people that they do like. Okay. These people, when you're coming against interference or some like non-pleasant energy, there's something in you that is stinging them, makes them feel uncomfortable. And you could be the most pleasant person. And sometimes people with higher energy can actually irritate a lower energy. Like it's just too strong, like you just got to put it down. It's just too strong and it makes you feel uncomfortable. Like sometimes when the light is too bright on your cell phone, you need to dim it, or else it hurts your eyes. The same kind of thing. So if like your energy is too strong, and you're just doing really great energy clearing work, a lower energy might enjoy your presence or might not. And so this is another tool. If you have resistance with somebody, you can say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Even before you type an email, you can just take a deep breath and just say that, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You're not saying you love you to the person. You're saying I love you to the universal energy. This is something for universal energy. Like there's something in you that's bugging them. You have no idea what that is. It's not, we can't control what other people think and feel, but it's a cleansing that takes place. And there was a story that Dr. Hugh Lin had where there was a child. The teacher kept picking on him. The teacher was just, every time this teacher saw this child, she just didn't like this kid. I don't know if he ever been picked on. I've been picked on by teachers. I'm not sure if you guys have been, but this teacher wasn't feeling this kid. And the kid just wanted to like not go back to school. Like the kid was really suffering a lot. And so Dr. Hewlin was like, listen, there's something in her, there's something in you that's bugging her. But, don't take it if, it's just her. It's a cleansing that needs to be released. So he says, we're all connected and, we're all connected. So I want you to do, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I just want you to say this. That's it. Say it all day long and when you're in class. What? Within 2 weeks, he was the favorite student. The teacher didn't have this energy attached that was stinging her anymore, and they moved on to better places. This is a true story. I mean, Dr. Hugh Lin is so powerful in this, and if you want to explore more, I welcome you to the Ho'oponopono is phenomenal. It has really changed my life. It's a tool that I use all the time, especially say you're walking down the block or whatever, and there's some kind of like creepy energy that you don't feel comfortable with. You might need to walk faster or whatever. People can feel that. That person is like, yes, I'm creepy enough, and now they're scared. So now since they're scared, I can mess with them more. We don't want to play that. So if you do Ho'oponopono, even if you're walking faster, that nervous, maybe scared, anxiety, kind of like this is a creepy kind of person energy will leave you, and you will radiate something else, and they won't be attracted to you anymore. I've done it, and it's true. It is true. It's one of my energy weapons. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. And it's a cleaning. And Dr. Hugh Lin says it's for the universe. When he watches the news, he says that he cleanses the news. He cleanses the people. If someone's hurting, we're all hurting. It's a ripple into the universe. So, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I love you for loving me enough to care, to know that there's an issue. When you're dealing with a difficult partner, You know what I mean? You could be just like, you know what? I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. To the universal energy. When you're doing this, your partner will feel something different and things will be a little bit more calmer. Maybe you guys will have more tolerance, with each other, and eventually conversations can be had. Ho'oponopono is great. Try it out. If you have a situation that's kind of difficult, do Ho'oponopono. I have it typed on my laptop. So when I'm dealing with these crazy people at work, I could say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, because these people pisses me off all the time. But anyway, I hope this was insightful. This is a long message today. But it's all about working with the heart energy, finding tools, chanting. If you guys like chanting, some people love chanting. Chanting's also great. It's also a healing tool. You chant as you're chanting, you're cleansing yourself, but you're also becoming this vibrational energy that's high, and so you are, it's like you ever seen an aura? Like you ever seen your aura? They have aura cameras. And if you hold a crystal in your hands, your aura, your energy field turns to the color of the crystal. That's why crystals are so powerful, because they heighten your energy field. And so I have lost my thought why I was comparing this. But anyway, um, the chanting does the same thing. It changes your energy field. Some people, for instance, like the rosary is extremely powerful. If you're a type of person that uses the rosary system is a very powerful system. And if you're doing it from your heart and you're connecting to the words and you're saying than rambling, there's a difference from rambling and saying the words from the heart. When you say those words over and over again and really understand what you're saying, that rosary is so powerful. And it's a tool that I use. I am universal. If there's a powerful tool out there that will assist, I will use it. Absolutely. Not all kinds of things, but like there's a few things that I do like to use. I love the Buddhist beads. They help me. It's 108, which is 108 centers that go through our heart. And I like to use that when I'm working on forgiveness. I like to, do my forgiveness time. I'll use my mala beads and I'll say it in Arabic, istadfar, 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 istadfar. And I'll say it in Arabic. And when you say it in Arabic, it has high energy, and or you could say, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. And that forgiveness energy is going into the universe. I also like to work with the Holy Rosary at times. I love that. I feel that when I'm working with the Rosary and I'm reflecting on the mysteries, my heart feels like a hot center. It just feels like I'm elevating sometimes. It's just beautiful when you're connecting from your heart and not from your mind. I also, I was doing chanting sometimes. Chanting, I did feel better when I was doing it. Of course, meditation is great. I use my crystals for reading and making crystal mist splashes, and so there's little things that I do for energy work. But Ho'oponopono, you don't need to. All you need to do is remember those 4 words, and you can be off and running. If you go on YouTube, you can find some Ho'oponopono information. If you're interested, just email me, say, Tanya, I'm interested, or text me. I'm sorry, Goddess Valentina. Say I'm interested, and I will definitely send you some information on Ho'oponopono. It's great. It's great. It will save your life when you're in those scary situations. It will change the energy around you. You could be doing angel fire incense, like cleansing situations, and you could just let the incense go up and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Wow. I haven't even done that yet. I'm going to try that. That just felt really powerful to me. That just came to me right now. It's just wonderful. You want to just release and block, because when you're doing Ho'oponopono, it's not just what comes off you. Or if something comes off you, it comes off everybody. That's what he says. So if you have a sassiness or a little nasty attitude, and that you stop being nasty and you get healed from that little nasty little attitude, everyone that you encounter will never feel that nastiness ever again, and they will come into a presence that might be more sweeter, and from that sweetness brings healing to other people. And when you heal one person, you can heal a nation. And that's how powerful we are, and what we bring, and what energy is coming from us. And if everyone knew how powerful they are, we would be an amazing place. We'd probably still have good and bad, but the good would be just as strong as the bad. And I think that they would just be like, okay, y'all stay over there, we're going to stay over here. You know what I mean? So anyway, think about it. Work from that heart energy center. I love feedback. If you have any emails or any ideas or things that you guys do that's really powerful, let me know. Hit me up. I would love to hear. I would love to add to my arsenal of energy healing work. But it's definitely something important to do. All right. So anyway, I hope this message was helpful, and just sending energy and light to all my light workers out there, and continue on the quest, continue on being positive, continue to love. Talk to you soon. Bye.